2 words, Parker Fox. LaMelo Ball. And if I can add 3 more, let's freaking go.
Let's go.
Your Minnesota Timberwolves and mine. They showed the NBA world that they're all gas, no breaks when it comes to the championship race. Trading Naz Reid, an unprotected first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps, and 3 second-round pick swaps for Charlotte Hornets superstar LaMelo Ball. You know, my jaw just healed, Parker Fox. I'm finally free. And I already had to pick it up off the ground after seeing this trade. Max Fuller here, a.k.a. LaMaxo Ball, a.k.a. LaMel Fro Ball, a.k.a. a million other things. I'm alongside my dog, Parker Fox, here, and you know the homies had to get together to howl about this one. Because, Parker, when it's all said and done, I mean, this might be the biggest trade in Wolves franchise history. Tim Connolly, we know what he's like. When he's at the plate, it's Shohei like Shohei at Target Field last night. I mean, Parker, we're gonna dissect this one like a frog in science class every which way over the next couple minutes. But just what was your gut reaction? I know we try to break down the game analytically and whatnot, but we're fans first. What was your initial gut reaction to this trade? If I wasn't on the Power Trip Morning Show on FCC Major Market Airwaves this morning, my reaction would have had a lot more curse words, a lot more expletives. But nobody wants to get rid of Naz Reid, of course, fan favorite dude. But, I mean, you get a superstar point guard, a top 5 point guard, maybe even higher, maybe top 3 point guard in the truest definition of the term point guard in the NBA. Lethal from long range, creative at the cup, and maybe most importantly, he knows how to distribute the rock. Parker, just what was your gut reaction after hearing about this trade this morning?
Well, my gut reaction is that Tim Connolly in our front office is not just going to stand still. They're not just going to admit defeat. They're not just going to let Victor Wembanyama and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the world dominate them. They are going to step up and they're going to make moves, and that's exactly what they did. They went and got a top 5 NBA point guard, in my opinion, a guy that has the potential to be a top 3 NBA point guard when he's healthy. I think LaMelo Ball is the perfect fit. Max, all we heard the whole offseason was Ant had the ball in his hands too much. They need a point guard. They need to find somebody that can create offense, take double teams off of Anthony Edwards. You couldn't have found a better guy than LaMelo Ball.
Like this is something you cook up in 2K, right, Parker? Like,
literally.
You don't even dream about this when you're thinking of potential point guards. This wasn't even a name that was being mentioned until last night.
It's exactly right, and it came really fast. And the steam, about noon yesterday, I started kind of hearing a little bit of steam. Max, I think the deal got done last night, and they waited till this morning to really figure it out. But yeah, LaMelo Ball is fired up to be in Minnesota. I'm hearing all reports that this guy is just so excited to be running alongside Anthony Edwards. I mean, this is arguably the best backcourt in the NBA now. I think you could argue with any other backcourt across this league that you can say that Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball are at the top. Now it took a lot, right? I know you mentioned a lot of those picks, and a lot of those pick swaps really probably won't factor in too much, but there is some situations where it could come down to those pick swaps mattering. And then we lose our guy, Naz Reid, who we all know and love. It feels like if there's any marketing stunt, Naz Reid was there. If there's any PR deal, Naz Reid was there. If a nonprofit or something needed a Timberwolves player, Naz Reid was there. And I think that speaks volumes on not only Naz Reid as the player, but Naz Reid as the person, right? He came into this organization as an undrafted free agent, an undrafted rookie, signed to the Iowa Wolves, and just worked his way up.
He was on the Iowa Wild too.
Yeah, he was playing in net. He was playing goalie. No, but man, Naz just worked his way up, and it's a testament to his development. It's a testament to his character, and I think you and me can definitely say that we hope Naz goes to that Eastern Conference and is an all-star for years to come. I hope down the line Wolves fans are like, gosh, we shouldn't have traded Naz Reid because it's Naz Reid. And we all know him. We all love him. We know those towels. We'll always love Naz Reid here in Minnesota. We'll thank him for his time. But we got the point guard of the future. I mean, you and I know that draft, right? Like, oh, do we want Ant? Do we want LaMelo? I think you were the guy that really wanted LaMelo.
Right. I vocally wanted LaMelo Ball. And like I said to you before, partially because I just wanted a chance encounter with LeVar Ball. I wanted LeVar Ball on KFAN airwaves playing the initials game. That'd be must-listen to radio. But obviously, they both turned into hell of a players. And who would have thought less than a decade later, We got them both, Parker.
Man, it's insane, man. And we've solved the issues that we were looking for, right? There's been so many names throughout this free agency thing. I feel like there's a new name every day. One that I was really stuck on was Kyrie Irving, just because I thought he would be able to give you something at the point guard position that is really unmatched. But talk about a guy that can match it. And not only a guy that can match it, but a guy that's a dang near a decade younger than him, right?
Right.
And in the peak of his prime. Now he's had a little bit of hip issues. He's had some ankle and some wrist injuries. Now, that's all I think in the past. He played 72 games last year, 28 minutes a game, averaged 7 assists a game, shot the ball at about 37% from three, filled it up in the scoring category at 20 plus points per game. So we're getting a point guard that can really do it all, Maxo. And I think it's something that, as Wolves fans, with the big signing of Ayo Dosunmu, getting Terrence Shannon Jr. back, like your court is absolutely loaded. Those are four top level talents across the NBA that I think you're comfortable with night in, night out, putting any of those four guys at the 1, 2, or the 3 spot and saying, go hoop, because that's all you're going to need to do. There's enough talent out there on the court. Just go hoop, get into your sets, get into your offense. And at the end of the day, just go be ball players.
Exactly. And it's kind of like you just alluded to, Parker. I mean, this LaMelo Ball, I don't want to make it seem like he literally, like the clouds parted and he descended with a, oh, like a chorus behind him or anything, but he might be the antidote to all of the Wolves' biggest Achilles heels. We
Mm-hmm.
talk about it on Howling with the Homies all the time. You know, sometimes the ball just gets a little too sticky. We're not getting enough ball movement. And Chris
Yeah.
Finch's dude, he likes to give a lot of leash to this team. And LaMelo Ball might be that floor general that we've been looking for. That guy that not only, I think automatically, like your gut reaction after you hear something like this is like, okay, this is a guy that could unlock a whole different level for Rudy offensively, right? Kind of the same way we saw Mike Conley do and Ayo do at times later in the season there. But not only Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, because obviously you traded Julius Randle just a few days ago. That's 14, 15 touches a game that is going to be redistributed. For Jaden McDaniels, we've already saw in the Denver Nuggets series. He's a guy that can be – he can do some damage when he gets more chances offensively. And then you think LaMelo Ball is going to be distributing it. But not just those guys. Anthony Edwards. So it's already a top 5 player in this league, a guy that was getting double teamed every single freaking night. I'm surprised he could even see the dang rim at that point. I mean, all he's seen is double. He probably went to the eye doctor and was like, "Hold up, I need glasses like my dog Max because all I'm seeing is double night in and night out." Now you can't double him anymore. You got one of the best shooters in the league, also in that backcourt right there. And so it's like he's going to unlock a level for Anthony Edwards, Terrence Shannon Jr. Ayo. This is a guy. I think I saw Johnny quote a quote like this from an unnamed source within the building. This is a guy that's going to just raise everybody's level. That's going to make every single player on this team better. And I mean, now all of a sudden we look at the Western Conference as this arms race. We already know what Oklahoma City their weapons look like. We know what them big ass missiles that San Antonio got down there. And now we had to go get some nukes of our own with LaMelo Ball. I mean, I would say that we're right up there with them, Parker. I mean, it's
100%.
In the rest of the NBA, I would say.
Yeah, and I think it's not over yet, Max. I think there's going to be moves here that we see in the near future. I know we know that Dante DiVincenzo is going to be out and injured till the latter half of the season, maybe even all the way to the playoffs. I think the Wolves are going to do what they can to keep Dante DiVincenzo. All signs are pointing to the fact that they want him around. They want him to be a Timberwolf and re-sign in the future. I think his value and what you're paying him right now at about $12 million is a steal for a guy who plays in night out, who can produce from three. And imagine that guy coming back, right? Imagine those three. Who are you gonna double? Who are you gonna help off of? Because all three of them shoot it at 40% from three. They all can fill it up. They all can attack off the dribble. Like, you get a healthy Dante back to the version that we saw this year. That's a spooky backcourt. Now, I know a lot of Wolves fans are concerned with our front court and losing Naz Reid. I feel like we were really comfortable even a couple days ago saying, hey, Naz is our starting four. We're ready for him to take that jump. All that Naz has done this, right? He's just gone up and up and up every single year. And, he's just a couple years removed from being that sixth man of the year. And I think there is concern, right? But I think you mentioned it. LaMelo Ball has the potential to raise everybody's ceiling, right? And I know Rudy's been a guy in this league who's had some offensive potential, and he hasn't had the point guard to play alongside like LaMelo Ball that can bring him to that next level. And I think Rudy is going to be a defensive player of the year next year. I think he's going to open things offensively for his game. You put Jaden McDaniels, who's going to shoot the ball at 38, 39% from three in the four spot. What does that do? It opens up the floor and it creates mismatches inside for a guy like Rudy. And I think the most underrated part of LaMelo Ball's game is his lob threat ability. Like he can throw lobs to guys like Rudy. He can make those reads. And then if you're going to help in, you got shooters all over the court ready to lay those things out and splash them in. So, Max, I am absolutely fired up. I think our backcourt is as good as it gets across the whole NBA.
I do as well, Parker. And something that we were talking about off the air a little bit ago is just like think about how the Spurs. When you think back to that Spurs series against the Wolves, one is one of the most standout visuals is the way the Wolves just got run and gunned again and again and again and
Pace.
again. It's been not, I wouldn't say an Achilles heel, but it has been a consistent kind of weakness of this team over the last couple of years is pace of play. And now, not only do you have Ayo, who we know is 0 to 100 when it comes to crashing that
real quick.
You got LaMelo out there pushing the pace. And we saw that with the Charlotte Hornets. I don't have the stats in front of me. I would imagine that they're one of the faster paced teams in the NBA for sure in the Eastern Conference. And then you got him pairing him up with Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels. I just think the pacing is going to take this team offensively to a whole nother level. And like you said, just picturing, visualizing. You saw me kept going like this over here. It's like that quote, we used to pray for times like this, dog. Thinking about Jaden McDaniels on the floor, that could be lethal, man. But I also think that there's more moves to be made because there's a lot of intriguing names out there.
Yeah, there is. And I think there's a lot of moving parts. And we're seeing an NBA free agency right now. We're seeing a trade market where GMs are stepping up and they're making moves because I think a lot of teams are in a win now type of mode. And I don't think there's a team that's sitting prettier than the Timberwolves are sitting. I can almost guarantee a championship in the next couple of years. Count it on 2028. Get it tattooed on your skin right now because the Wolves will be parading down First Avenue here in the near future. Just wait until you see this Wolves team next year. Hey, what about Johan Berenger? What about a guy, the Frenchman, who's 19 years old, who's ready to run the court, who's ready to go in there, and he's ready to get more minutes? Like, I think there's so many exciting kind of facets of what this trade could look like for not only LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards, but countless guys down this roster. I'm hearing great things from Bones Highland and Mike Conley that they're probably going to re-sign. There's a lot of optimism that Kyle Anderson's going to re-sign. He wants to be here in Minnesota. That's great veteran leadership from, guys in the locker room, guys on the bench. I just think there's a lot of really positives right now. And we were sitting at a really interesting point yesterday. We were saying, I don't know what we're going to do at the point guard spot. Do we trust Naz as our starting four? All of that stuff gets answered with no one other than LaMelo Ball.
Oh my God, Parker. I'm gonna get a tattoo. I'm gonna replace my inner thigh Naz Reid tattoo that I got at our Mall of America watch party a couple years. I'm gonna have him cross it out. No offense to Naz Reid, and it's gonna say Timberwolves playoff champions, NBA champions 2026/2027. Parker, we started the show with 2 words: LaMelo Ball. I like those 2 words that you were just talking about. Win now. That's the kind of mode that the Minnesota Timberwolves are in right now. Trading for former Charlotte Hornets superstar LaMelo Ball, current Minnesota Timberwolves superstar LaMelo Ball. It's going to be your nephew's favorite team, your granny's favorite team, the people bootlegging league pass favorite team. And, of course, it's our favorite basketball team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. And we think there's more moves to be made. Parker, I got a funny feeling we're going to be howling again before opening night.
Oh, we certainly are. And buy your tickets now. There's only going to be standing room available at Target Center, man, because this is the hottest ticket, not only in town, but across the NBA, across all of professional sports. Get to witness LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards in the backcourt. Woo-wee. We're going to be hootie-hooing all night long.
Hootie-hoo. Your boy might have to start scalping tickets, printing them off the printer at KFAN because that's going to be a hot ticket to get into any Minnesota Timberwolves game. I cannot wait to see the moves that they make next. And I can't wait to howl with you again soon, my friend.
That's right, my brother. Love.
Love. Peace. Win now. Hootie-hoo.